Hey YouTube, this is Zach with Achilles Financial, and I am back following up from earlier today's video where we are, instead of looking at the plays I've made today, going to review some key economic data that we will be releasing today. So I don't know about you, but I saw this article from CNBC over the weekend, and it was discussing New York region manufacturers are the most optimistic since the Great Recession, and this was really talking about this item right here, the Empire State Manufacturing Index. And everyone was saying that this was going to be super important and it was going to be bad. And it was really going to talk about how New York had been impacted, and everything over the weekend was talking about how bad this was going to be. And then it came in significantly higher than the market expectations of 35, which I believe last time, it was super high. It was like 98, negative 98. So it was really bad. It expected to stay really bad, and it ended up being really good. And if we go back to the market didn't even care. Yeah, we had this spike up, but nothing about any of the articles I saw or any of the alerts I was getting said anything remotely close to what that was going to be about. And that drives me to wonder, A, was it really that important, or was it just another economic data point that we could throw out there and have a discussion on? And B, what is driving the market rally? As you can see over the course of the week, we saw a huge decrease, and I think honestly we're going to be back at 320 pretty shortly, as well as anything higher than that. I think 330 is not out of the realm, out of possibility, particularly with the big stocks making some huge moves. The reason that I highlight all of this info is to showcase that you are going to be getting a lot more economic data this week. We need to determine, is that going to be relevant enough to drive the market? And the second thing that I want to make sure you're paying attention to is you're going to continue to see material about how fundamentals are going to be driving and why the stock is going to do a reversal and this, that, and the other. And I just want to let you know that all of it is complete bogus. And I personally don't trade on fundamentals. I trade off of where I think the stock is just going to go based off of what I know in the industry. You'll see that I trade a lot, but it's only around a few stocks. I've got my Nvidias, I've got my Bank of America, I've got my random plays like FTAI and Zillow. But those are stocks that I understand, so I trade them very often just because I know that, hey, if it goes down below where I think I'd be willing to buy it, that I'm going to get it. Because if I think I should buy it, then that probably means that people smarter than me are going to be wanting to purchase that stock as well. So that is how I look at stocks individually. And I think that that's how a lot of the market is looking at it now is, hey, that looks like a good price. Thinking of you guys out there who are looking at the cruise line stocks, but that is just a play. Some of the other things that I want to look at is just the upcoming economic data that we have for the remainder of this week. So we are back just looking at some of the different information that's coming out this week. Once again, I am on Market Watch, and I'll link this as well as that CNBC article in the news below. But one of the big things that we want to look at tomorrow is we've got the Fed Chair is testifying. So Jerome Powell is going to be testifying in front of Congress tomorrow. And I don't know if anything groundbreaking is going to come from that. The reason is because generally speaking, when we have these meetings, it's just him talking to Congress and them grilling him about this, that, and the other. And I don't know if we're going to get actual policy, but we may see some additional information coming from things he said in the past. So think about this Fed buying bonds that we've talked about, or how they're supporting everyone, or who's getting this money and that money. I think that is going to be coming out, but I don't think anything new. So we'll see if that actually moves the market. Retail sales are going to be important. However, I think it's going to be important for a specific piece of the stock market. Again, retail, not necessarily the broader market, but the ones to watch there. I really like Target. Not necessarily going to be looking at Walmart at this point in time just because they've had a big run up. Kroger has earnings later this week. I'm going to be looking at them, but I don't see a play develop yet. One stock that I really like for retail sales, particularly even though they've gone up some more today, is Lululemon. So look at Lulu. I think that they're going to continue to be a strong stock. They had strong growth in the e-commerce segment of their business. As things open up, I think we're going to see some of that same store sales growth continue upwards. The housing starts and building permits, I think these two are going to be huge. And then we've got Jerome testifying again. Same thing as above. I don't know if that's going to move. But these two right here, I think are going to be huge for the home building industry. So think residential construction as well as home buying. You have to remember that during this entire time period, even though people have been locked up, there's still been a steady supply of home purchases. The reason for that is because of the very low interest rates. So you have people taking advantage of these record low interest rates, in particular mortgage rates. So people are still buying. The stocks that I'm looking at for these two, you guys all know that I am always watching Zillow stock. And then for here, I also like DR Horton, which is the ticker symbol DHI. So I'm going to be looking at those two stocks for tomorrow to see if I can take advantage of this. Although we don't know. Again, you see that these two are rising from what we saw. I'd like to see it really explode. It'll just depend. So I don't want to have too much exposure with that, but I would like to make 1 to 2 trades there. We've also got the unemployment numbers coming out. This is not the overall unemployment rate. This is just the essentially how many people are filing for jobless claims. And we're going to see that coming out, and then nothing too crazy after that. Again, the manufacturing index is one of those tickers where you're going to see this because it's a headline grabber. Maybe I'll use that for like Wednesday, just say, hey, the Philly Fed manufacturing index and what stocks you should buy, and then just talk about some of the stocks that I always talk about. So we'll see what happens there, but this one really doesn't move the market like you would anticipate. I think it's going to be another Empire State Index. So let's hop back over to the SPY graph. So we've got a lot of market movers going on this week. I think that we're probably going to hit 320 by the end of the week. If not by the end of the week, then definitely by the end of the month. However, these options are expensive. So I may be looking to flip premium. I mean, we've got some, I don't think that this is out of the realm of possibility. I'll see what the market opens at. But if you could hop on something for 20 cents a share and then flip it for 30, that's some pretty awesome gains. But we'll see. I mean, the market today, we did see SPY hop up nearly 3 points. However, that's really, I mean, what it doesn't highlight in that statement is that's really not that much better than where we ended last week, or really, ended on Thursday, started Friday. So interesting day, a lot of data coming out. I'm going to be watching it. I think it's going to be exciting. I'm loving all of the volatility because these options keep going up and down, up and down. So it's a lot of room to make some trades, but be watching those indicators, be watching those stocks. It's going to be a fun week and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for your continued support. Please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks. Talk to you later.